I guarantee you'll learn at least one thing in this video that'll make you a smarter sports bettor. I'm Dante, I run Dante's Data, where we find the most consistent players and teams across all sports every single day so you don't have to guess. Today we're going to be talking about public versus sharp money and how to not be a square. But really, you should be aware of this, what public and sharp money is, and by the end of this video you will have an understanding on how it works and how it's really a cat and mouse game that the sports books play each and every single day. So what public versus sharp money even means. So a bet percentage is just how many actual tickets are on a single side. And then there's the money percentage, which is how many actual dollars are on a side. Oftentimes on bets, there will be sharp money, so there will be more money on one side, but way more tickets on the other side. And the sharp money get in at the better pricing. So I'll show you what that actually looks like. So we'll have side A and side B. 70% of bets are on side A and 40% of money. Now on side B, we have 30% of bets and we have 60% of the money. So in this example, side A, most of the bets, 70% of the actual bets are over here on side A. But actually where all the money is actually the majority of the money is actually on side B. So most of the tickets are on A, but most of the dollars are on B. So that's your first signal. A is likely the public side and B is likely where the sharper money is. So there are three split patterns that you should know. So pattern one, the bet percentage is about equal to the money percentage. So in this example, team A, they have 55% of bets and 58% of the money. So the line might move from around like -3, maybe it'll move to -3.5. And the line might not even move, but in a situation like this, there's really no big like red flag to watch out for when this is a pretty basic looking situation where really the sharp money, the amount of bets and the money, it just kind of balances out, and there may be little to no line movement at all. But then what we have to watch out for is pattern two. Lots of bets, but less money. So example, you got team A and they're the favorite. They're getting 80% of bets and just 40% of the money. Now team B, who is the underdog, they're getting 20% of bets and 60% of the money. So what the book sees is a large amount of the public bets are on team A. Fewer but bigger bets are on team B. In your line, in this case, it's got two ways to move towards team A or team B. The books often end up shifting towards team B here. So this now makes team B look less attractive because that line is going to move and it's going to make team A look more attractive. And the public's already liking team A anyways, so it's going to bring more bets and money onto that side. And what that does is that forces sharp money out of team A because the line now has moved less favorable. So the sharps are less likely to want to take action on that side. Then there is pattern three. This is where the line moves versus majority. So let's get an example. 70% of bets are on team A at a line of -3. So our line opens at team A -3. Then that line moves to team A -2.5. So in pattern three, the line moves against the side getting the most tickets. This is what people call reverse movement. So we have 70% of these bets on team A, but the line moves down from -3.5 to -2.5. Think about that though. Most bets are on team A, yet the books are making team A's number even better for you, even better for the majority of the public who's betting that side. They usually only do that when the bigger and or sharper money is coming in on team B. So tickets are all shouting team A, but the line is quietly drifting towards team B. So this is the cat and mouse game that the books play, and that's a strong hint that the book respects the money on B more than the volume coming in on team A. Okay, this is all great, but how do we actually end up using these splits? Inside Dante's Data, inside our VIP Discord, we actually have a tool called Sharp R, which monitors sharp and public money. So you can identify spots where the sharps are on one side at a certain line and the public's on another. You can identify that with our tool. You can use this as help, but not your main system. You shouldn't always just identify where sharp money is at and chase sharps. It's not always the best system. It is a good system for confirming the side that you're on. And of course, it's bad for just blindly fading the public every single bet. So every single time, especially with teams, because this data is more readily available for teams versus player props, but I always check and just be aware of what side I'm on before I place a bet. Sometimes I will be with the public and I'm aware of that, but usually you want to confirm, because you might see something and be like, okay, well, why is that? And then you go back, double check, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's best I just fade this line altogether. Or you might change the way you think about things, or sometimes you just take a mental note and you stick with the reason that you came up with that bet and the reason you wanted to go that direction in the first place. And so I always check on player props, and the majority of the time I'll place a player prop early in the morning, and then by the time game time comes or during the day, I'll check and see where the odds are at. And many times the odds will shift to a worse line. I know I'm on the right side. So when that happens, I feel pretty good about the side I'm in. I know I got a good line on that bet. And that gets into odd shopping too, getting the best line. And I'll leave that video at the end of this one so you can check it out, because that's really important to know how the line moves and how to get the best value at all the different books. So to break it down, bet percentage equals the number of tickets, money percentage equals dollar amount on that side. Then we have our patterns. So if the bets equal the money, that's no huge signal, nothing to be too concerned about. If you have lots of bets on one side but less money, so if you have lots of bets on one side but less money in the sports betting world, you'd be a square. And then the line moves versus the bets. So sharp money, other side. So the line moves versus the bets. These sportsbooks are aware of sharp money and where the action's at. They don't really care about necessarily the volume of tickets. They want to know where the sharps are and where the publics are. Take that into account when they're setting their line. So a line could be very sharp early in the morning, right when the line drops, but then later it can become just such a terrible line it's not even worth playing. It might even be worth taking the other side in that case. So use these splits to confirm, recheck your bet, not as your whole system. Start with your own edge, use the splits to confirm that edge, or to just double check. And if you're on the public side, at least you are aware of it. And if you keep finding yourself on the public side and you're aware, when you do this, you take a mental note, right? So for example, I place a bet and I'm like, okay, well, I'm on public side. Normally I don't like doing that, but I am. Pay attention to the result, because when you're doing that, and if you realize you're losing most of those times, then that's when you see that in that same situation again, you're going to think differently. And skip spots where you have no lean and the splits scream square. Just stay away from them. If you don't have strong conviction about why you're placing the bet and you're seeing that, the public's hammering one side, it's just probably best to lay off that game and look for either somewhere where you have a better edge, or even just not bet at all and wait until value shows up. Here's the video on odd shopping, getting the best odds and lines across all different sports. It's a super valuable video. That video can literally save you thousands of dollars if you're betting often. Just if you're not line shopping, that is step number one to increasing your ROI. And for everything else, links are in the description. If you enjoyed this video and stuck till the end, really appreciate the support, and let me know what else you'd like to see on this channel. A thumbs up goes a long way, and I'll see everyone in the next video.